So AJ Madison is the nation's largest independent appliance retailer. They serve 2.5 million customers across the entire country, and we ship to every zip code in the U.S.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Jessica Petrino Ball, Editorial Director at AJ Madison. How you doing today, Jessica?
Doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for spending some time with us here on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about AJ Madison.
Sure. So I am a proud home appliances matchmaker, and I've been in the industry for pretty much my entire professional career. I'm third generation, so my family's been in this world for at least 70 years, I want to say. It's been a long time. So I grew up around it, and I really had no intention of joining it. And then out of college, I ended up taking a role with an appliance store out of the greater Boston area and really got the opportunity to learn a lot about digital marketing. So, I like to say first and foremost, I am a home appliances expert through and through. But over the last decade or so, I've been honing a lot of skills as a marketing expert as well. And I currently oversee editorial and lifestyle content for the AJ Madison brand. And I develop a lot of content with an editorial point of view. And we work with a lot of owned and earned media platforms.
Okay, and please tell us a little bit about AJ Madison and what they do.
Of course. So AJ Madison is the nation's largest independent appliance retailer. They serve 2.5 million customers across the entire country, and we ship to every zip code in the U.S.
2.5 million. That's kind of staggering. And where is AJ Madison physically located?
So AJ Madison was born and based in Brooklyn, New York. Since then, we have a shipping facility out of New Jersey. And then we have showroom locations in Tysons in the DC metro area and in Sunny Isles, Florida, which is just north of Miami.
Gotcha. And what's the origin story? How long has AJ Madison been around?
AJ Madison was founded in 2001, and the company began as really the industry's first retailer to sell appliances over the internet.
Wow.
So yeah, in back then it was a really revolutionary concept. In the past, people would go to their local appliance store, they would meet with a salesperson, and they'd kind of go through the process. And while you can definitely have those experiences near our local showrooms, we started as a really robust website for people to be able to explore everything in the world of kitchen and home appliances, and they could place orders and get product shipped no matter where you are. Which, is part of the reason we've grown so well, is we're really a digital first company, and we ship everywhere. So we're able to help people in all corners of the country.
So you guys owned the space before the Home Depots and the Lowe's showed up on the scene.
Those are what we call national accounts in our industry. They kind of behave a little bit differently. It's really interesting because we're, as an independent retailer, we have access to a much wider selection of brands than a lot of those national accounts, especially when it comes to luxurious product. We carry product across all prices, and we have access to 150 brands, which is an experience that you're not going to have if you walk into your local national retailer, be it a Home Depot or a Lowe's or what have you. But it's really interesting from a marketing perspective. AJ Madison is really a bit unique in just our capabilities to be able to use a number of channels and platforms to be able to engage with our audience and acquire business. And I kind of look outside the scope of our industry when kind of seeing what types of companies we want to market like. I'm continuously looking at, the Wayfairs of the world and West Elm, Crate and Barrel, some of those companies within the home furnishings and furniture vertical. Just to kind of admire their editorial direction. And it's kind of interesting. Our industry is a little bit antiquated in a lot of ways in terms of how companies go to market, and it's really our objective to stay as current as possible, and to keep people inspired and engaged.
Excellent. Well, I love that you're bringing a different perspective to the industry. For me, taking a sidestep in any situation is always a plus, to be able to see some other perspective and to bring the level of marketing that people are accustomed to in furnishing their home to the way that they have to go about buying appliances, as opposed to that old almost hardware store approach to the appliance sales that, from my youth wasn't a very fancy experience purchasing refrigerators and washers back in the 70s and 80s, but you have brought it into the 21st century. What else makes you stand out from your competition?
So I really love AJ Madison's ability to identify problems and challenges and to then solve them quickly. For example, I have a couple examples here. In the early days of COVID, being based in Brooklyn, New York, we went 100% remote with our entire company within about a day and a half. Our IT systems were able to get our entire company up and going, and we didn't skip a beat. Yeah, so when COVID first hit, we didn't skip a beat. Our entire organization was up and running our organization was extremely nimble in those early days of COVID. Furthermore, going into the last couple of years, our industry, like many others, was very hard hit with inventory shortages. And we did everything that we could to get ahead of it, to the point where AJ Madison offers an in-stock promise where we have the selection and the inventory to be able to say, for common things that people want to purchase, be it a standard 24-inch dishwasher, a 36-inch French door refrigerator, even a stainless steel 4-piece appliance package, if you need that, we have it, and we guarantee it. So while, folks around the country were waiting weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to get something, we really stayed on top of the inventory challenges as much as possible, and we were able to guarantee most of our major categories, which is really special. And then lastly, I'll say, we're continuously looking beyond our walls, and we're looking for unique ways to help others and help the planet. We noticed that we had a lot of perfectly good scratch and dent inventory of appliances. It happens. Sometimes people order the wrong color, or there's a scratch on it, or it's dented in the back and you can't even see it. And people refuse that inventory. And then when it comes back to us, we have avenues to recycle those products. But when they're perfectly good, there's opportunity to give those products a second life. So we donate product to the Habitat for Humanity Restore. We donate product to Renovation Angel. And last year we kicked off the Community Fridge Initiative, where grassroots community refrigerator groups around the country can request a refrigerator, and we can ship it to them at no cost.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, we're looking at ways to be able to repurpose product that would otherwise maybe end up in a landfill or partially in a landfill. And we want to be able to help people in the process.
That's important at a time where a lot of manufacturers have made interesting decisions through COVID. I know For me, one of our microwaves died, and when I called the company, they said, cut the power cord and take a picture of it and throw it out, and we'll send you another one. You know, not the most ecologically friendly approach to repairing an appliance, but that was their COVID approach, right?
And we could have a whole conversation about this. But there are a number of brands out there today that are actually looking to provide lifetime warranties on major components of products to avoid just that. Like there are companies out there that are saying, as much as we want to sell more stuff, in some cases, like with your broken microwave, it might be a better choice to have a service technician. And not to go too much on a tangent here, but today's world of appliances, most products today, if you want them to, can connect to your Wi-Fi network at home. And the advantage to that most people don't think of, and I think it's the one advantage that most people can get behind, is that the appliances today can monitor their own performance. And if there is a problem, in many cases, the appliance can identify its own issue. And it can really streamline that service process so that you're not waiting for someone to come to your house to diagnose the problem, to then have someone come back to the house with the part, and they might fix it. It takes a lot of that human guesswork out of the equation and just kind of streamlines a process that otherwise is a bit antiquated.
That's fascinating. I mean, that's proper use of technology, right? All right, I'm going to throw you a lob.
Please.
What role has content marketing played in the growth of your business? I know about you and content, so I'll let you pull back the curtain.
So, I personally try to focus on producing and promoting content that does one of three things. I'm looking for content that can educate prospective customers, content that inspires people to, want to take on a project, or content that promotes really high engagement. And, it's really great to see people go from being our followers to from being our followers to our customers to our loyal clients. So, lately I've been really trying to focus on building trust and building relationships with people who are within the trades. So designers, builders, developers, architects, people who interface with multiple projects continuously. And I think one of my favorite projects of 2022 into 2023 has been the first season of the Madison Ask the Appliance Experts podcast. So we're really looking to, we bring on really special and talented guests, subject matter experts on a number of different topics, but we're really looking to drive engagement. And personally, I love teaching and educating. I do a lot of continuing education programs with the design community, as well as ways to keep our consumers informed and as engaged as possible.
You are speaking our language here at WriteForMe. It is all about engaging and educating people through the process. The digital landscape is massive now. There are just so many options, and single touches don't get it done. So you have to engage people. And obviously, you guys are doing a great job of it.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, when you talk about working with designers and architects and planners and people like that, who are your customers? Who are your biggest customers?
So I'll say with 2.5 million customers coast to coast, everyone across the country has the ability to be an AJ Madison customer. We work, like I mentioned before, with brands and products of all prices. With 150 brands, we have something that can fit in any space. No matter how large or small your project is, we have product to fit any space. And, personally, one of my favorite projects this year has been engaging with the trade community, just to be able to deliver that extra value. But, I think that we're looking at the industry holistically. We're looking at what's happening, what people are interested in. We base our editorial plan on sales data, search data. We want to be able to create content that answers the questions that a lot of people have in their renovation projects, and then we can respond. And we're really nimble, and we craft content and campaigns that give people the answers that they're actively looking for. When COVID first hit, everyone decided to do an outdoor kitchen. Outdoor kitchens still are really hot. Now with talk about the potential challenges with gas cooking, we're seeing a lot more interest in energy-saving appliance technologies like induction cooking, like heat pump dryers. I think the president last fall passed the Inflation Reduction Act. So we're looking to those factors kind of surrounding us, and then we're creating content to make sure that people are really informed and engaged to have the best experience they possibly can.
Hey, I applaud you. You've taken what most people think of as an antiquated, I have to applaud you. You've taken what is looked at normally as sort of an antiquated business and brought it to the 21st century. And you've weathered the storm, and you've used the digital platforms to their advantage, and you're going fishing where the fish are, as it were. What social media outlets do you find most fruitful for AJ Madison?
So we're present on all of them. You can follow us on social media at AJ Madison. And interestingly enough, I find that we have a lot of traffic and interest on our Pinterest platform. We do really well on Pinterest. We do love to engage and produce content for Instagram, Facebook, and then, we're looking to grow our presence on LinkedIn as well. So we can be found at all of those at AJ Madison. And, for those interested in learning more about home appliances, or you just want to hear me talk more on podcasts, you can find the Ask the Appliance Experts podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the major podcast platforms. And again, that's Ask the Appliance Experts. And if you need to shop for home appliances, we are here to help you. Yeah, we have a team full of appliance matchmakers and experts such as myself, and we can be reached at ajmadison.com, whether you want to see us in store or shop the website, or, if you have questions too, feel free to send us a DM. And if you say, "Hey, Jess," I will, in the message, I'll be able to get back to you personally.
Appliance matchmakers. I love it. Do you guys have any appliance divorce attorneys, or is that that's another rabbit hole?
I would like to think that we have a good track record of having a long and fruitful marriage.
All right. Tell me something you'd like to be celebrating personally and professionally 1 year from now.
Ooh. I guess I can speak personally. So I am a new mom. Yeah, I am. And I am actually going to be expecting my second child.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, so young family. Right now, I am hoping that I can keep it all together, sleep enough at night, and be able to do all the work that I do on a daily basis. So I mean, on a personal level, it's been the hardest job that I'll ever love. But I think that, professionally, it's actually lended so much to my professional life, being a parent. I'm tremendously better at task management and getting things done and prioritizing activities. And it's really wild. But I feel like when I first became a parent, my brain went into overdrive, and I was able to accomplish almost way more than before. So that's a personal note. professionally, there are a number of topics right now that are surfacing that I definitely want to place additional emphasis on. We recently went to the National Kitchen and Bath Show. Rather, we recently went to the Kitchen and Bath Industry Show, or KBIS, and that's where people throughout the entire industry kind of gather in Las Vegas, show off the latest technology, and talk the latest trends. And I think there's going to be a greater focus on our planet, and what sustainability means within the home appliance industry. In the past, it was kind of like, all right, you get an Energy Star rebate and you can save a little bit of money every year and everyone can get behind that. But I think there's going to be a greater focus on how companies behave at every step in the supply chain process, and kind of what it means to, not only be citizens of our homes and our communities, but also just of the planet. I am probably going to see more focus on smart home technology and just kind of ways to see the tech that we know and love today get even more involved in helping home appliances operate in a meaningful way. I could probably talk for an entire episode about that, but I'm not.
No, I could follow you down that rabbit hole, because as appliances get more efficient, I mean, look, we are paying ridiculous utility fees at the moment, right? The price of natural gas tripled here in Los Angeles in January. The cost of electricity is up. We're all very aware of water consumption. We're aware of how much surfactants we are pumping into our rivers and streams and things like that. So no, it's an important subject. And frankly, people are more and more concerned with, as investors, where their money's going and who's at the top of the food chain and how they're behaving. So no, that's an important conversation for another podcast.
And just for families too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Grocery bills are sky high, and I think that's something that everyone's going to be able to get around to, is just whether you're an investor or just a consumer, trying to find creative ways to be able to live more efficiently. So those are some topics that I want to take a deeper dive in than we've been able to do in the past. And so I think, it's a really kind of exciting time for the industry, and, heading into 2023 and beyond, I think we're going to be really mindful, like many other companies are, of our spending. And, ideally we want to be able to lean more into the digital end of things, lean more into organic, drive more revenue using those channels, and spend more time looking at the metrics than ever before. So that's kind of a personal goal of mine too, is to really, I spend a lot of time on SEO, but to spend more time kind of prioritizing gaining more organic traffic through the efforts that we're already doing.
Excellent. Well, hey, I wish you all the best on your endeavor for the all-elusive work-life balance as your family grows. All the best with that. And I wish AJ Madison continued success. It sounds like you guys care about the consumer and the planet, and those are two important things that give you some good corporate karma, as it were. Please tell everybody what your URL is and where you can find AJ Madison.
All right, you can find us at ajmadison.com.
Simple.
Yep, ajmadison.com. And if you want to catch us on social, we are at AJ Madison. Like I said before, if you ask Jess in a DM, I'll be able to get back to you personally.
Jessica Ball at AJ Madison, thank you for spending some time with us today on Business Ninjas. I wish you and yours and AJ Madison all the best in the years to come.
Thank you, Andrew.